Lights, camera, traction.
We've seen the idea of actual site visits and getting out there to be the difference maker, actually putting yourself in that situation, because when you send out a survey, when you ask questions over email, even when you talk about things over the phone, unless you've seen this user actually doing what they do best, unless you've actually been in the environment to understand, wow, this happens so much faster than it looked like on paper. I know pre-COVID-19, you were spending lots of time going out there and you would find whatever data the company would throw at you and try to do something with it. Can you walk me through kind of the benefits of doing site visits for you and sort of how you would go about that? Did you just ask them like, hey, can I come on site and watch you? Or did you do it a little bit more tactically? How did you actually put yourself in a position to learn?
Yeah, so going on site is is hugely valuable in an early adoption cycle for both parties. So you kind of they get they're trying to trust you. So that's a personal experience of the CEO and me as the account executive, or the CEO and the CEO build a relationship, and the engineers build relationships. Going like, okay, when they call me up or Slack me to trying to get the API key, I'm a lot more comfortable sending it over because I know who the other human is on the other end of that channel. So there's just a basic relationship building that goes with that Zoom and everything else are doing a decent job of, but it's you don't have the water cooler, you didn't go to the pub after you had the session, all that kind of stuff matters because we're humans and we're wired that way. And then there's stuff that's just easier to do in person, of like, let me show you my screen. It's like, yeah, we could share screens right now on Zoom, and I could show you how I walk through it and stuff like that, but it doesn't quite work the same. And especially when we're in this an explicitly analog industry that is trucking and logistics. Right. It's like I got a huge amount of value of going to these, going to the distribution center and going, oh wow, okay, these guys got 24 docks, and they got pallets, and they got stuff moving, and they got blue collar labor doing blue collar stuff, and there's a level of communication that has to come down to the back of that dock. That is a actual work area where actual humans pick stuff up and move it around, and so there's a level of difference in how you deploy that technology, because that iPad or screen's got to sit somewhere where it's safe, seeable, usable, and it's like, okay, that's why there's this lag, or it gives you much better insight to how the technology will totally flow down to the ground. Is like when you see it in live action, especially, okay, the guy in the truck or girl in the truck has got to get a signal. Okay, what's the cab of the truck look like? Is it 1960s old truck? Okay, no, we got a brand new fleet. They got Tesla like screens in the thing. Like, okay, well, that's a better environment than that. Right. So you get much more tangible feel. And I think ultimately what it does, it translates into that is valuable from a product adoption perspective, is the engineers get more empathy for how the thing will get consumed. I'm thinking like, oh, yeah, it's not a fellow developer that's on the other end of this thing. It's a person who's trying to like, which pallet do I pick in what order to put on the back of that truck, and do that in a way where I don't crush my foot.
Yeah. This just has me thinking, I don't think customers know how to teach startups. So I think that's, again, the problem of trusting that phone call, is they can tell you whatever, but because of those biases that they have, because of that garbage they have, because they come from the trucking industry, which a lot of people see as very traditional, although it's moving quickly and you're at the forefront of that with Clear AI. I think relying on customers to know what to tell you, how to tell it to you, what's important and what they need, I think comes with its limitations. So I think that's something extra. When you get on site, you will see things that you're like, well, why didn't the customer just explain it this way? And often that stuff's missed because they're in their routine. They're doing what they do, and they're not coming at it from that perspective of distance. They're looking at
and,
things.
and they're
They're
going to
still
shorthand it to you. They're going to go to
right.
like, they're going to assume you understand. And there's a level of like, well, how much do I interrupt them to try and understand that acronym and all that kind of stuff? And there's a level of, there's a practical resistance there that, there's a level of like, oh, I should have more humility and just go like, I don't know what the heck that meant. Can you tell me more? And then there's a level of like, no, keep telling me more. I don't want to interrupt your flow because you're giving me great feedback here.